Welcome to Bojnice Castle is located in the Trencin region, more than 2 hours drive from Bratislava. The castle is renowned for its attractions, including the popular castle fairy tale. The romantic castle is also a popular location for filming fairy tale movies. There are many legends relating to the Bojnice Castle, known mostly to the locals. These include the legend of a broken heart, the story of Peter Pokey, and the most famous of them all, the legend of the Black Lady. The castle was built in 12th century, under the Kingdom of Hungary from 12th century until 1920, and just rebuilt in 1889 to 1910. It was also under Czechoslovakia from 1920 until 1993, completely reconstructed after fire in 1950. Finally, the castle was owned by Slovak Republic in 1993. The castle is a medieval castle in Bojnice, Slovakia. It is a Romanesque castle with some original Gothic and Renaissance elements built in the 12th century. Bojnice Castle is one of the most visited castles in Slovakia, receiving hundreds of thousands of visitors every year and also being a popular filming stage for fantasy and fairy tale movies. It was owned by Hungarian kings and noblemen from the 12th century until the territory became part of Czechoslovakia after the Treaty of Trianon in 1920 and was acquired by a Czech entrepreneur in 1939. Bojnice Castle was first mentioned in written records in 1113, in a document held at the Zober Abbey. Originally built as a wooden fort, it was gradually replaced by stone, with the outer walls being shaped according to the uneven rocky terrain. Its first owner was Hungarian nobleman Matthew Trencin, who received it in 1302 from the King Ladislaus V of Hungary. Later, in the 15th century, it was owned by King Matthias Corvinus of Hungary, who gave it to his illegitimate son, John Corvinus, in 1489. Matthias liked to visit Bamsey, and it was here that he worked on his royal decrees. He used to dictate them under a linden tree, which is now known as the linden tree of King Matthias. After his death, the castle became the property of the Zapolya family. The Thurzs, the richest family in the northern kingdom of Hungary, acquired the castle in 1528 and undertook its major reconstruction. The former fortress was turned into a Renaissance castle. From 1646 on, the castle's owners were the Elfes, who continued to rebuild the castle. Finally, the last famous castle owner from the Elfy family, Hungarian Count János Ferenc Elfy 18-91908, made a complex romantic reconstruction from 1888 to 1910 and created today's imitation of French castles of the Loire Valley. not only had the castle built, but also was the architect and graphic designer. He utilized his artistic taste and love for collecting pieces of art. He was one of the greatest collectors of antiques, tapestries, drawings, paintings, and sculptures of his time. After his death and long quarrels, his heirs sold many precious pieces of art from the castle and then, on February 25, 1939, sold the castle, the health spa, and the surrounding land to Czech entrepreneur Jan Anton Nbaa. After 1945, when BAA's property was confiscated by the Czechoslovak government, the castle became the seat of several state institutions. On May 9, 1950, a fire broke out in the castle, but it was rebuilt at government expense. After this reconstruction, a museum specializing in the documentation and presentation of the era of architectural neo-styles was opened here. Bojnice Museum is now part of the Slovak National Museum today. That's the end of our Bojnice Castle trip. Thank you for watching.
Don't forget to subscribe, and see you on our next video.